Welcome to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Thanks for watching, and here's what's happening. Congratulations are in store for Ward 12 Councilman Tony Brancatelli. Councilman Brancatelli has been selected as the recipient of the Leadership Award for Public Service from the International Economic Development Council. This award recognizes elected officials who have served as a committed advocate for economic development for at least 10 years in the public sector. Councilman Brancatelli has been the chair of the Development, Planning, and Sustainability Committee since 2009, a position which requires him to focus on development not only in his ward, but on the entire city. He is also a national expert on the foreclosure crisis, who recognized as it hit Cleveland early that this would threaten the economic viability of the city and region, devastating residents and creating problems for the business community. He worked with the federal government to develop funding programs such as the Neighborhood Stabilization Program to help communities across the country who face these issues. He also recommended the establishment of a land bank to help deal with the aftermath that left large swaths of vacant and blighted homes and businesses. Councilman Brancatelli was honored in front of economic development professionals and peers at a recognition dinner during IEDC's 2021 annual conference in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, they say all good things must come to an end. The same holds true for the Cleveland Department of Aging Senior Walk, but just for the season. Aging Director Mary McNamara reflected on the summer and 16 previous senior walks held in each ward in Cleveland.
It's been great. I'm a Cleveland resident myself, and I've discovered some parks I never knew existed. So that's been really fun to show up each week in a different park and find a new path and a Cleveland treasure, and to see familiar faces at each walk.
The final senior walk took place at Empit Park in the West Park neighborhood. Though everyone was having fun, there was an air of sadness as this was the last walk of the season. Director McNamara said the fun doesn't have to end just because winter is around the corner.
I don't want it to end. Some have come to all 17 walks, and so the city has a structure with our city recreation centers where people can stay active, and so we handed each participant today a schedule, the fall schedule for our 22 rec centers, and encourage them to find one, get connected to it, pick some activity, and keep moving.
Including this one, Cleveland police officers attended all of the senior walks this year. Johnny Johnson, commander of the Bureau of Community Relations, said his officers look forward to these walks, and to show their appreciation, they grilled up some hot dogs, brought in the ice cream truck, and threw a picnic for the walkers.
The Department of Aging came up with the idea of doing the walks in the parks. When she said, hey, would you guys send some officers to join us? For me, it's a no-brainer. It's our seniors out walking in our community. Not only are they getting connected to the community, they're getting connected to us. And so that gives us an opportunity to kind of give them some tips to stay safe, while they're walking through and connecting with each other.
Teaching the seniors how to be safe is the goal at each of these walks. Now, with the leaves changing and the cold weather on its way, the goal is to reinforce safety for slips, trips, and falls. Director McNamara knows firsthand how serious a fall on the ice can be.
2 years ago, I had a very serious fall on the ice, and from that fall, I got a concussion that lasted for 50 weeks. And the other remaining thing from that is I've lost all sense of smell and taste because I hit the back of my head on the ground. And so falls are really serious. It's changed my life. This fall that I had in the winter months on a cold day, and I know that I could have prevented that if I would have been wearing boots with better traction on them.
For tips on protecting yourself against slips, trips, and falls, call the Cleveland Department of Aging at 216-664-2883. Fresh food is an important pillar to any community, a belief that Sarah Continenza and her team have put their weight behind when forming their nonprofit, Food Strong.
Cornucopia is our third annual fundraiser. It's to grow Cleveland's freshest nonprofit. We do it in partnership with Lago. Nicole from Lago is our board president, and they've been instrumental in helping us fundraise to help support our programs in the community. And this event here is a way that every year we can build up how people know about what we do, as well as the funds and the resources to support our work in the community.
Attendees of this year's Cornucopia were treated to fresh food and drinks, raffles, and even live music, all in the name of supporting and expanding Food Strong's mission to strengthen and empower communities through fresh local foods.
What we do, we have everything from a school garden program to a program that brings wellness resources into communities, health screenings, cooking education, a whole bunch of wraparound resources and services as a way to bring people together around fresh foods and to get them to utilize them more, access them more. We also have a variety of youth entrepreneurship programs, culinary arts classes, and just anything we can do to use fresh food as an ingredient to uplift and empower communities.
We spoke with Jayona, one of Sarah's mentees. After her school closed amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, Sarah established a neighborhood garden for the students to continue their work at.
When my school, Maple, closed down, by her not giving up and still keeping in contact with us and starting a whole new garden for us to stay at and still making events for us to come to, I think that was really nice. Like, she didn't give up on anything, she just kept going. And
Food Strong is going on its third year of serving Cleveland and is always looking for new ways to engage the city.
I hope that people walk away with a call to action to get involved. It could be financial, it could be a volunteer-based thing. If you have an organization that offers amazing resources, come out with us and offer those resources with us in the community. It takes a village and we all should be part of it. And it doesn't necessarily take money, although that does really help us do more. But we welcome every walk of life to be part of this because it's truly how we can impact people.
Volunteers are always welcome at Food Strong, and those who wish to make a donation to the cause can even do so from the comfort of their phone.
Go to foodstrong.org, visit us on social media at FoodStrongCLE. You can donate on our website or on Venmo, Cash App at FoodStrongCLE, or you can sign up for our newsletter on our website, foodstrong.org, and continue to learn more about what we do and be involved. Come volunteer with us. Come out and support.
Have you ever been in the airport for a long layover or delayed flight and wanted somewhere cool to unwind? Well, there's a new spot at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport called the Club CLE.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the proud pleasure this afternoon to welcome you all to the Club Cleveland. It's the 38th lounge in Airport Dimension's growing club network. And this is a particularly happy moment for us as this is our very first lounge reopening since the start of the pandemic. And I think it feels great to be here celebrating and having some good news as we move forward.
At 2,000 square feet and 45 seats, this new lounge couldn't have come at a better time. With passenger confidence growing, an airport lounge to serve flyers was in high demand.
The club features our signature zones, allowing customers to decide whether they would like to work, relax, have a drink at the bar, replenish, recharge, or rest. And we're open from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. And we welcome in members from our Priority Pass membership base, Lounge Club, Lounge Key, and we're also available to any passengers from the traveling public for a fee. And you can either come in and walk up, or you can book in advance online as well through our various websites.
This was a very special lounge for Airport Dimensions as they partner with Cleveland's own Flow Spirits.
This is a very special moment for the vodka brand Flow. Being a Cleveland-based company, it feels good to have something here in the airport that represents the brand very well. I want to thank you guys at Airport Dimensions and also at Fratport. You've been very helpful, patient with me and Frank, guiding us through this process. So just want to thank you and enjoy the lounge.
As you can see, they did it again, a world-class facility here at the airport. And this is a special grand opening because it has a Cleveland flavor to it. Jock and his team did an amazing job. We look forward to bigger and better things in the future. We want to grow this to something even bigger than what we have here today. With our partners before me, we look forward to the future. And again, on behalf of the mayor of the city of Cleveland and our Chair of Transportation, Councilman Joe Jones, who's here, I'd like to thank everyone, and we look forward to you visiting the lounge.
If you'd like to visit the Club CLE Lounge next time you're at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, passes are available to members of Priority Pass, Lounge Key, as well as one-day passes. Can you believe that Halloween is right around the corner? The City of Cleveland will observe trick-or-treat hours in neighborhoods throughout the city from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday, October 31st. But on Friday, October 29th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., the city will host its annual Big City Boo celebration at all neighborhood resource and recreation centers. Parents and caregivers can bring children to their rec center to enjoy events, games, prizes, food, and treats. Big City Boo provides Cleveland youth with a safe and fun alternative to trick-or-treating. To ensure the safety of all attendees, each rec center will be staffed with off-duty police officers, police zone cars, and auxiliary police. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Young brother, if you pick up this to settle a petty dispute or beef over a girl, a perceived diss or territory, there are only two places that you will end up. In a 6 by 8 foot hellhole known as a prison cell, or here, in a cemetery, in an even smaller kind of box, a coffin. Knowing how to pull a trigger doesn't make you a man, so don't settle your arguments with a gun. Talk it out. Don't shoot it out, because your life matters.
City Council held its regular meeting on October 4th, and here are a few of the highlights. Cleveland City Council took a preliminary step towards approving a tax increment finance agreement to assist a developer in renovating the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel at 24 Public Square. Under the future TIF agreement, the city will declare certain improvements exempt from real property taxes. The hotel is owned by Skyline Investments, a Toronto, Canada-based company that specializes in real estate investments with a focus on hotels and resorts. Skyline purchased the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel in 2015 and plans to fully renovate it and rename it Hotel Cleveland. The 15-story building, built in 1918, has been awarded federal historic tax credits. The project is expected to exceed $56 million. It will create 166 full-time jobs and retain 69 existing jobs. It is estimated this project will generate $150,000 in new annual tax revenue for the city. Cleveland City Council initiated the first of several committee discussions on a proposal to fund repairs, upkeep, and operations of Progressive Field for over 15 years, ending in 2036. The cost would be $19 million a year, funded by the city, the county, and the state. Cleveland would annually pay $8 million, Cuyahoga $9 million, and Ohio $2 million. Under the proposal, the city's portion will come from a variety of sources, including parking garage revenue and the sports facility reserve the city holds. Cleveland City Council President Kevin Kelly, who chairs Council's Finance Committee where the first discussion was held, stressed that much has to be discussed before legislation comes before the full council for a vote. Council President Kelly said, quote, "This was a good discussion to get started. We'll be having more, including hearing from the Guardians," unquote. For more information, visit clevelandcitycouncil.org. Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. I recently laced up my sneakers and did a few stretches before joining the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission for their annual Sunset Sprint.
We have a beautiful sunny day here, and we're here actually doing a fundraiser, which is our Sunset Sprint 5K, 10K, which is presented by the Illuminating Company. And it's the 4th year of this event, and like I said, it's a great little fundraiser for our small nonprofit, and we're just really excited to have everyone down here and run either our 5K, 10K route and enjoy one of our beautiful parks in Cleveland.
This year's Sunset Sprint was hosted at Edgewater Park, with benefits from the fundraiser going towards the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, a local nonprofit whose focus is to bring sporting events to Cleveland.
And the reason we bring those events is for sports tourism. So people shopping in our shops, eating in our restaurants, and spending money in our community, all through the view of sports, which is wonderful. So since we are a 501c3, events like this really help us stay afloat. So we're really thankful to the community to be here today.
Fleet Feet were also running their own drive, accepting donations of old shoes and sneakers.
So actually our great partners at Fleet Feet, they do a shoe drive, and we wanted to partner with them to make sure that everyone can bring in their own shoes. So kind of to your point, last year people were at home. They were probably putting a lot of mileage on their shoes. They need to get rid of them and get new ones. So bring them here, and we're going to give them to a good cause with our partners at Fleet Feet.
And for more information on the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, you can visit clevelandsports.org. After the Cleveland Indians wrapped up their 2021 season at Progressive Field, they kicked off a very unique pop-up event. Top Golf Live made a stop in Cleveland from Thursday, September 30th through Sunday, October 3rd.
just like Topgolf Cleveland. You book a bay, you come in, you get to hit for an hour at your bay, you schedule your own tee time, and then you get to enjoy concessions, food and beverage, and you can hang out and just enjoy your friends and family, playing some golf.
2020 was a struggle for everyone, and that includes sports organizations. So the Cleveland Indians wanted to hit the ground running in 2021 with new event ideas for the ballpark during the offseason.
So Topgolf has done this in 10 other venue spaces throughout the country. So we're one of 10. We're actually the first ballpark that they're doing it in. And it takes obviously a really great team and an experienced team to be able to pick up something and take it to the next location. So they've been great to work with, and their operations team is awesome. And it's just making sure that your schedule's aligned, making sure that you're communicating ahead of time, and making sure that you can get into that tour is what I wanted to make sure that we did.
Players got the chance to tee up in the right field stands, hitting golf balls into on-field targets placed between 60 and 140 yards from the tee box.
We worked with our grounds crew to determine where we wanted the targets to actually lay out on the field. And then once we did that, their team comes in with their Top Tracer technology that just like they have at any Topgolf venue, and they calibrate it specifically to our field. So you come in, they calibrate it, and they make sure that where you're hitting to actually matches the targets on the field. So it was kind of at our discretion where we placed the targets, but once we placed them, we could calibrate the balls to make sure that they're hitting correctly.
Clevelanders can look forward to more special events at Progressive Field in the future.
There will be lots of things. We had our first annual Grand Slam Beer Fest this past year. We're hoping to bring it back and do it again, and we have Elton John coming next July. So I have a few things in the pipeline, but can't say right now.
Finally, he is considered one of the greatest artists of all time, and he's now being celebrated with a special immersive exhibit right here in Cleveland.
The exhibit is called Immersive Van Gogh, and it brings visitors into Vincent van Gogh's most popular paintings through animation and technology. Show producer Corey Ross said the idea for the exhibit came from a trip he took to Paris.
Well, this is really, these immersive art installations really have been a trend feature in Europe for 30 years. And Massimiliano Siccardi, who created our show, has been doing this for 30 years. He started out in the caves in the south of France with slide projectors. Siccardi had sold millions of tickets to his shows in Europe, and I happened to see one of them in Paris in 2018. And was so blown away by what I saw that I approached him and said, has your work been in America? And he said no, and so that's how the conversation began.
Cleveland is the 11th of the Immersive Van Gogh exhibits to open in the U.S. Ross says the toughest part about Cleveland was finding the perfect spot to showcase it, but he found it in a former fastener factory.
It's very tricky to find a building with a ceiling height. And we really actually struggled in Cleveland to find a building with a ceiling height. We knew that Cleveland was going to have industrial buildings that we could repurpose. And industrial buildings are a great way to go because they have great bones for things like, often they have to have machinery that hangs off the ceiling, so we know the building isn't going to fall down as we hang all of our projectors and stuff. But finding height was very difficult, and in fact, even here, what we had to do was remove a floor of the building. So when you go into the gallery, you'll see that the height goes up above the ceiling of the room that we're in.
When you walk into Immersive Van Gogh, it is like stepping into his painting, as Van Gogh's work is projected on the wall, ceiling, and floor. Blend that with cool animation and a smooth music track, and you're instantly taken to another world.
What's interesting to me about Van Gogh is he was a forward-thinking guy. His art was forward-thinking. He was a post-impressionist. Coming out of Impressionism, he was taking it to the next step. His brushstroke, his color, his use of shape, but also he was using new technology. And the new technology that he was using was paint in tubes. It hadn't existed a generation before. Before that, painters would have to mix their paint in the studio. What Van Gogh was able to do was to go out into the sunflower fields because he had paint in tubes, and he could immerse himself in the scene that he was painting. And now here we are, 130 years later, immersing the public in the painting that he made.
Ross and his company, Lighthouse Immersive, have plans for art exhibits in the future.
So we've taken a long-term lease on the building with the plan to continue to convert this into different exhibits and to have this be an amazing hub of arts and immersive arts. I think we're just at the beginning of the tipping point for what immersive art and this type of high-tech projection approach can bring.
For more information or to purchase tickets for Immersive Van Gogh, visit vangoghcleveland.com. TV20 is streaming live 24/7. Visit TV20cleveland.com to see our live feed and more. Stay connected with TV20 wherever you go by liking and following us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to watch our numerous programs. The City of Cleveland is now releasing general news and real-time updates via their blog and social media. Be sure to follow the City of Cleveland on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe to their blog at clecityhall.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Dan Monroe. Be sure to stay tuned for more on TV20. We are Cleveland.